Alright, so today we're going to be reviewing one of the most hyped fragrances in recent years. And the fragrance we're going to be looking at and breaking down today is none other than Jeremy Fragrance's first fragrance, and that's Fragrance 1, Office for Men. So let's go ahead and review and break this one down. Hey, what's going on guys? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel. If you're a return subscriber, glad to have you here. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content. So if you love fragrances as much as I do, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. But of course, as you guys can read by the title and the intro, that is right. We're gonna be finally reviewing Jeremy Fragrance's first fragrance, which is Office for Men. I'm so excited to be reviewing this one for you guys and see if this one is worth the hype. That was released pretty much last year. I believe it was released in 2019. And the master perfumer behind this is a great perfumer, to be honest with you. I'm shocked Jeremy Fragrance got him as a perfumer, and that is none other than Alberto Marias, which has created, of course, Acqua di Gio and all of its flankers, which are all pretty good and very crowd pleasing, which this one is as well. So let's go ahead and look at the presentation of Office for Men. So as far as the presentation go, I do not have, of course, the full bottle. I just have this 10 ml bottle here, but it's very, very similar on how it's made and stuff. But of course you have this plastic cap. I believe on the real bottle, it's like a very, very thin aluminum that you can actually squeeze and pretty much make it not fit again. So it is very, very cheap. And then of course you have the atomizer, which of course has no cramp right there. Has no collar, so you can see it's very open and just does not look good whatsoever, and that is the same on the bottle. And then this glass is the same on the bottle as well. It is see-through for Office for Men, as you can see right there. And I mean, it feels decent, I guess. But for this 10 ml bottle, you do have this plastic cap, which does click into place, which is good. Now, as far as the atomizers go, I will give Jeremy credit for that. The atomizer is phenomenal. So let's go ahead and spray this on my inner elbow and I'll show you guys how good this atomizer really is. Let's see. Wow, look at that atomizer. And this is from a travel spray, and I believe, of course, it is the same for their full-size bottles. It's the same exact atomizer. Now, also the packaging is very, very cheap for Office for Men. It just comes in like a white cardboard, kind of like a tester bottle packaging. If you've ever seen those, it's very basic and plain and not really cut out good or anything like that. So as far as packaging for Office for Men, I'm gonna actually give that a 3 out of 10. And the presentation and stuff like that. I'm giving it that low rating because obviously there's no cramp on the atomizer, does not look good at all, and the packaging is very, very cheap. And I'm only giving it a few points because of the atomizer is very, very good. It's kind of like up there with Dior, not so much like Creed, those probably have the best, but it is a very good atomizer. So 3 out of 10 for presentation and packaging. All right, so let's go ahead and go over the scent profile for Office for Men. You're gonna have top notes of ambroxan, bergamot, and orris root. So for the middle notes, you're gonna get some woody notes, you're gonna get some floral notes, jasmine, amber, ambergris. Base notes, you're also gonna get some more woody notes, you're gonna get musk and patchouli. So how this one comes across for me is on initial spray, so first impressions, it opens up very synthetic and chemically. You're pretty much getting a blast to your face of ambroxan, the most heavy ambroxan fragrance I've ever actually got my nose on, even more than Sauvage. So I mean, if you love ambroxan as a note, you're absolutely gonna probably love this one. It's a heavy, heavy dose of ambroxan. Like I said, it comes across very piercing and sharp and synthetic and chemically. You're also gonna get bergamot, like a juice. It's a pretty good bergamot. It's nice and juicy in the opening. But that ambroxan, now you know that I'm saying it's very synthetic and chemically smelling, which it is. It's not all bad here, guys. He pretty much used it ambroxan because this thing lasts for a very long time, and the projection is crazy. We'll talk more about that later, but yeah, heavy dose of ambroxan and bergamot in the opening. So I have the opening here. And I have been living with this fragrance for a few days at work and stuff. I have been wearing it as my scent of the day for a couple of days, so I have gotten used to it. After the ambroxan and bergamot, pretty much the ambroxan stays the life of the fragrance, to be honest with you. It's a very long lasting note since it is synthetic, of course. That's probably why Jeremy Fragrance used it. because I believe what Jeremy Fragrance was going for was a crowd-pleasing fragrance. Of course, they get complimented stuff, but his main focus, he talks about all the time, is the performance of a fragrance, guys. And that is exactly what he was going with his first creation, Office for Men. After the initial impressions, once the bergamot stuff starts to fade away, it's gonna turn a little bit woody. I'm also getting some kind of spiciness. I'm not sure where that's coming from. And it's also gonna be a little bit musky in the dry down as well. Not too much of like an animalic musk, just kind of like it's like a smooth, manly, musky smell in the dry down. Now, as far as the smell of Office for Men goes, as far as rating it, I mean, it's nothing unique whatsoever. It does also come across very designer to me. It's not so niche, to be honest with you guys. I have heard this get compared to like Sauvage and Aventus. I don't get any similarities to Aventus whatsoever. I mean, not even close, to be honest with you, to me. Maybe Sauvage somewhat because, of course, the embroxin and stuff, it is similar to Sauvage, but not so much. But yeah, it is very designer because it's coming across synthetic and chemically. But yeah, for smell, and I'm gonna give that a rating of 7 out of 10. I do actually enjoy this one. This one works way better on skin than on a test strip. I remember when I first tested it on a test strip, a paper test strip, I was not so pleased about it, to be honest with you. It was even way more sharp and synthetic than on my skin. And then like the next day I did spray it on my skin and wore it for the day, and I was actually pretty happy with it. I do actually enjoy this fragrance. It's not bad whatsoever. If you're just looking for a versatile, pretty much crowd-pleasing, long-lasting, great performance fragrance, Office for Men is going to be it for you, for sure. It also does come across a little bit youthful to my nose. Like the younger guys will absolutely love this one. It would also, of course, work great for the office, which is another thing I love about Fragrance One and what Jeremy Fragrance is doing with the brand. He's pretty much making a fragrance set for each particular occasion. Of course, you have Office for Men for the office, which is not going to be, I mean, even though it is very loud, like usually offices, you don't really want a loud fragrance, but I mean, I guess this one is so crowd pleasing that it doesn't even really matter. I guess everyone would just love it. And then of course you have Date for Men, which is great for going on a date with a woman. Pretty much that's probably gonna be a little bit maybe closer to the skin, possibly, I'm not sure. Like I said, he loves, whoops, almost dropped it, but he loves his loud performing fragrances. And then he just also released Black Tie for Men as well, which I have not smelled. It just came out, I think, like maybe a week ago or so. But I'm very curious about that one. Of course, it's gonna be for more, like if when you're wearing a suit, maybe to a wedding or a formal event or whatever, that's gonna work best for that. But yeah, Office for Men, I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 for the smell. Yeah, that's what I'm going with that. So let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this. All right, so the performance for Office for Men is honestly very good. One of the best performing fragrances I've actually tested recently, to be honest with you. So let me tell you a little bit of a story about Office for Men. So I was actually testing like maybe 5+ fragrances on test strips, all pretty much sprayed around the same time. And I left them out in my house, and out of all 5 or so of those fragrances, the one that actually stood out above those, that were performing way better than those as far as projecting in my house, was Office for Men. I mean, this is all I could smell over all of the other fragrances that were out. And I had some heavy hitters in there as well. And this one just stood out like a sore thumb, beating the rest of those as far as overpowering them pretty much. This thing would definitely overpower fragrances that are like, when other guys are wearing fragrances around you and you got this one on, trust me, this is gonna be pushing through their fragrances. I'm telling you, this is a very strong fragrance. Now I've been working 11-hour shifts, and I've been living with Office for Men throughout the 11-hour shift. As far as projection goes, I was getting about 6 hours of strong projection. I mean, like still pushing off of my skin, not even just a scent, like a skin scent. I mean, it was still pushing off my skin around 6 hours later. After the 6-hour mark, it does start to come a little bit closer to the skin. But as far as longevity with this one goes, I mean, I remember spraying this one on pretty much like midday, and then like later that night going to sleep and waking up and still smelling Office for Men on my skin. So this one is phenomenal as far as the performance it goes with this. I also just wanted to touch note about the scents as well, since I'm smelling this one as it's drying down a little bit. And there is something that's coming across a little bit strange to a lot of people. I have heard that before, and I believe that it is the ambergris. It's coming across a little bit maybe a slight animalic touch, a little bit salty with the ambergris. I just want to mention that as well. But I do love ambergris. Of course, creeds are known for using their ambergris like an aventus and stuff, even though, like I said, it doesn't smell like aventus whatsoever to my nose, to be honest. But yeah, the ambergris in there might throw some people off, but I do like it myself. But yeah, let's go back to the performance. So the performance, I'm gonna give this one I'm gonna go a 9 out of 10 for performance for Office for Men. Like I said, it's just so good. And this is an eau de parfum concentration, which is the only EDP for men's that he makes. I believe, Date for Men and Black Tie are both extrait de parfums. So I'm sure those are very good as far as performance as well. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for Office for Men for performance. All right, so final assessments for Office for Men. Now, this fragrance, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it retails for about $190, which is very expensive for a 100ml bottle. That is not really a niche quality in my opinion, even though it is very good, and you do of course have that master perfumer behind it, Alberto Marias. But just with the packaging and everything like that, I don't really think it's worth $190, but he does offer discount codes all the time, like BOGO, 60% off, 30% off. So I would say if you can find a discount, definitely it's worth it with that, but not really retail from my opinion. I actually might honestly pick up a bottle once this goes through at a discounted rate, of course, once he does do that again. Because honestly, I do enjoy this fragrance. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is a good fragrance, but yeah, there's nothing really unique or special in my opinion, just a crowd-pleasing, fresh summer, spring fragrance. I guess maybe it can also be worn like all year round in the fall and stuff, especially if you're in an office, which this is suited for it. You're probably gonna be in a climate controlled area with air conditioning and stuff like that. So it should work great for that. But yeah, for the price, $190 and everything like that, the packaging is not the best either, especially for that price. Yeah, so you would think that he would be able to make a much better presentation for selling it at $190, but that is actually the cheapest one out of the men's fragrances. Date and Black Tie are way even more than that. I think Date is in the mid 200s and Black Tie is close to $400 with all the same packaging and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not so happy about what Jeremy did with the presentation for Office for Men, but I guess the main focus is of course the juice inside. Even though, like I say in all my unboxing and first impression videos, I am a sucker for presentation. That's one of the most important things to me. I love to show my bottles off, my boxes, as you see behind me. I keep all that stuff. But yeah, as far as an overall assessment and rating for Office for Men, I'm gonna go with an 8 out of 10. As far as that's pretty much combining everything together, 8 out of 10 for Office for Men. Great fragrance, smells good, not so unique or anything like that. I mean, pretty much, yeah, it's gonna be a crowd-pleasing fragrance. Yeah, so I'm going with 8 out of 10 for Office for Men. Let me know down below if you guys have smelled this, what your guys' thoughts are. This has gotten, of course, a lot of hate because of Jeremy Fragrance. He is pretty much the biggest fragrance YouTuber at the moment with well over 1 million subscribers. So props to him and what he has been doing with himself and his brand. That is definitely an accomplishment for sure. But yeah, let me know down below if you enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next fragrance video. Take care, everybody.